Welcome back to another edition of Toys I Did Not Own as a Kid. All right, gang, today we are talking about this Hall of Fame G.I. Joe, a real American hero, Duke. This is from 1991. They did a thing where they kind of re-released the original G.I. Joe type doll, except that they gave them molds from the 1980s G.I. Joes, and this one in particular is Duke. It says Hall of Fame G.I. Joe, a real American hero, Duke, the classic 12-inch tall posable G.I. Joe with modern battle dress uniform. He also comes with this high-tech Sonic Fighter MAS 62mm rifle with electronic light and sound. And we got the usual G.I. Joe fare in the back. We got the file name, the file card. And it says Codename Duke. This is going to be a long video. We're going to read this whole thing. Codename Duke. Master Sergeant. File name. Hauser Conrad S. Social security number. They gave us his social security number. 234-09-7789. Just in case you guys wanted to know what Duke's social security number is, there it is. It says primary military specialty, Ranger. Secondary military specialty, G2 military intelligence. It says grade E8, birthplace St. Louis, Missouri, and it says Master Sergeant. I'm going to need to bring this in a little closer so I can read it. Graduated top of his class at Fort Benning Airborne School, opted for U.S. Army Special Languages School where he specialized in Han Chinese and Southeast Asian dialects, returned for refresher courses in numerous Middle Eastern languages. Upon graduation, he served in the Army's Special Forces Unit in Southeast Asia where he received the Congressional Medal of Honor and 2 Bronze Stars for single-handedly rescuing 34 POWs from a heavily guarded enemy compound, led RDF, Rapid Deployment Force, troops into various hotspots in Central America and the Middle East. It says 1, authentically styled U.S. Army BDU battle dress uniform. 2, it's giving us what comes with. Sorry, I'm doing that out of frame. So it says 1. Authentically styled U.S. Army BDU battle dress uniform, government issued metal ID plates, the dog tags. 3, FBP 90 all-weather backpack. 4, Fritz styled combat helmet. 5, Stinger dagger with rip-proof sheath. 6, Infantryman's 9mm pistol with holster. 7, MAS 62mm combat assault rifle, standard, and 8, standard issue desert terrain battle footwear, and 9, official G.I. Joe combat manual. And it says here the name Conrad S. Hauser does not identify any known living person. That's from what we read earlier. And of course, we get a little bit of history on G.I. Joe, which I love. It says since 1964, when the original 12-inch tall G.I. Joe was first introduced, which is this guy right there, was first introduced, the style of combat has escalated to a new and exciting level, and so has the G.I. Joe team. Throughout the years, G.I. Joe has expanded its personnel roster from 4 individuals representing the 4 U.S. service branches to an elite unit comprised of hundreds of the world's best commandos. G.I. Joe's tactical units were first formed in the late 60s and early 70s. By the mid-70s, G.I. Joe confronted its first alien force called the Intruders, and in 1976, the G.I. Joes introduced the Defenders to counteract this galactic threat. In 1977, the Super Joe series was introduced to explore the outer regions of the universe. Now, in the 90s, standing proud and tall, today's Duke represents a combination of the classic G.I. Joe's overwhelming size and power with today's sophisticated battle prowess. He is both the continuation of the glory that embodied the original G.I. Joe and the beginning of a new era of greatness for the real American hero. Awesome. So I don't remember actually seeing these back in 1991, but back in 1991, I was not collecting toys. I was actually collecting comics only and doing other things that high schoolers tend to do. Spending my time doing those things, extracurricular activities, get your mind out of the gutter. So it has an official G.I. Joe. It says limited G.I. Joe edition, and it has an official sticker here that I'm going to have to tear through. I would kind of like to keep it in the box, but I want to open him. I want to see, number 1, what he does. And number 2, the battery here for this, you've got a button here, and you can barely hear it trying to work. So that means that pretty soon those batteries are going to corrode. So let's get them open. And let's see, is there any way to get them open without tearing up that sticker? No, that would probably be the only way. Oh, this is gonna hurt, but here we go. All right. And I just realized I could have just opened it from the bottom. I could have just opened it from the bottom, because this is just as stuck as it is up here. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open it from the bottom instead. There we go. All right, gang, so 1991, that makes this toy 35, well, 34 years old, but about to be 35 years old. And here we go. I'm trying to do everything in frame. This is very heavy. There he is. Pretty awesome. There's his dog tags. They're a little tarnished, so I'm guessing it's probably weather from where he's been stored, but it still looks pretty amazing. This is definitely a very 90s uniform. It looks very much like Desert Storm or something like that. Look, we still have twisty ties. We're definitely keeping that for later. And if you're watching this on certain platforms, you can just push. You can just hold your finger on the screen and it'll speed this process up. I'm trying not to make long videos, but this one is going to warrant it because I really want you guys to see every little detail here. So like it says in the back of the box, 1964 was when G.I. Joe first came out. It was released through Hasbro. I forget the name of the person who invented it, but he made the toy and then he sold the rights to Hasbro. It was essentially the answer to the Barbie doll. And I mean, I don't know why Mattel never actually did it. I mean, it was right there. The success of the Barbie doll definitely warranted it. And for those of you who don't know, that is part of the reason that Barbie is considered by some of us amateur toy historians as the first part in the evolution of the Transformers. All right, so far so good. Pretty cool. We've got the posability of an original Joe, but it sounds like we have ratchet joints, which is good because that means that he's going to be able to stand. The boots are made of rubber. He can do the T-pose. I don't feel any way that he can actually bend his elbows. Did original G.I. Joes were they not able to bend their elbows? All right, so the dog tags are cool. It says G.I. Joe, and it's got the Real American Hero G.I. Joe logo. And it says Duke 234097789. If you can't see it, there we go. Duke 234097789. Oh, I think that's not his social, but whatever. Hauser Conrad S. Master Sergeant. The other one's blank. These are pretty awesome. All right. And all of these is, of course, cloth goods. All of the pockets work. It's got a great backpack here where we can probably put rations and whatnot. It's got a little bit of a stain. I think the helmet can come off. Yes, it can. Ah, and he's got hat head, but they gave him the old G.I. Joe hair from the 70s. This weird kind of foam. That's pretty awesome. He's got the scar, just like the original Joe. However, he doesn't have the thumb inside out like the original Joe. So in the original mold of the original G.I. Joe from 1964, there was a mistake where let's see, they had him like that. There was a mistake where the thumb was inside out. The thumbnail was actually on the inside, and that is how they were able to sue other companies that did knockoffs and claimed that it wasn't, that they weren't knockoffs. That if the mold had that mistake, then Hasbro would sue. And trust me, there were plenty that had it. Okay, so here we go. We'll give them a spin for you guys, and then we're going to open up that weapon, because the video is getting long. We're at almost 11 minutes already. So let's stand him up back there, and we're going to stand him up further back, and we're going to open this guy up. This is actually the weapons, and it looks like he comes with a stand as well. So this is the part that's going to be irreparable damage because it's a blister. Let's get these guys out of the way. I want to get it started. Whoops. Uh-oh. I might be doing... Alright, let's just get it. There we go. Trying to use the tool just made it worse. I'm sorry for all of those inbox collectors that are watching this video. I know you're having anxiety and panic attacks right now, but here we go. Comes with this. OM01, Department of Defense Army Manual, a Real American Hero Operations Manual. History of G.I. Joe. Oh, this is going to get its own video. Battle positions. Yes, this is definitely going to get its own video. And right now we're just going to open things up. I promised myself I wouldn't do 20-minute or 15-minute videos anymore, but it looks like this might be one of those. Just getting everything out. Go. Too cool. So there's a button. There it is. Look at that. I know you can barely hear it. Too cool. And somebody told me that his mouth opens, but no, this is not the one where his mouth opens. I think they were confusing it with a what's it called? Small Soldiers. All right. And so this is this Rambo weapon. That's not a knife. No, that's a knife. All right. And then we got a standard issue hand weapon. So I'm going to check where these go. And then we come with a stand where we can put him on so that he doesn't fall. Okay, there we go. Try not to force his elbows. His elbows don't bend. That's weird. He was hanging on to it before. Interesting. All right, well, his elbows don't bend. There he is, gang. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll give him one more spin. I'm going to figure out how to put his pistol and his knife on him. And we're going to have to do a second video with all that. So, there we go. One more spin for you. All right, gang. So, there he is. Hall of Fame G.I. Joe, Duke, from 1991. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And as usual, if you like the video, hit a like. And if you like the content, subscribe. Thanks for watching.